takes our breath away. And so now you're in Denmark, and the next step in the treatment then is to do what?
The next step in the treatment was to do chemo. And that was the one thing I did not want. Yeah. But we learn over time that sometimes we have to do things that we don't want. And I knew once I had confirmed that it was in my lymph nodes, I felt there's no way around it. This is the way we have to go. And that got scheduled, and I was informed about all the side effects 2 days before. And I can say that is not enough time to get your head around it, to kind of emotionally be ready to what it can do to you. And it doesn't mean that all the side effects I'm mentioning is what's going to happen. But I was terrified, to say the least, to go in, because I have always been highly sensitive in my body. And I couldn't imagine what chemo was going to do to my body if I couldn't even take another pill and you know, a regular pill you get from the doctor and be sick from it. What chemo would do to me. And but you do what you have to do. So even though I almost threw up in the parking lot heading into the hospital, I made it in with my brother by my side, and we looked at each other and we said, we're doing this. And it was very surreal to sit there and see the red juice run into my arm.
Oh, God bless you.
And thinking about, how the heck did I get there? How did I get there in my life to sit where I'm at today and allowing this poison in my body? And that was the mindset I had at that time. It did change over time, because people are like, oh, all this poison you're feeling in your body, I can't imagine what it's like. And I was like, I had made a deal with myself, because I didn't want to go in. I didn't want to cry about it anymore. That I wanted, by Christmas, after 3 treatments, I wanted to be able to sit down, take the medicine, not poison, take the medicine and make it heal my body. And I did that. So I had 3 big ones where you lose your hair, you lose all body hair, and then you go into, I went into 9, some places to do another 3, a different kind. But that one goes for the nerves in your hands and your feet. So you're sitting with cold packs for them not to have impacts. I know some hospitals would do an ice pack on the head so you can keep more of your hair. I can't imagine what that feels like, since it was super duper cold on my hands and my feet for me not to lose the nails and whatnot. But a great tool. I can highly recommend it. And I had to ask for them, because I did not want it to happen. So I did it preventatively, where normally they will only give it to you once you have signs of neuropathy, I think it's called, where your nerves, you start not feeling, you're feeling numb in your fingers or your feet. So I did it preventatively, and today I have feeling in all hands and fingers.
That's so beautiful. So that's, and then we went into radiation also. Even though I was completely clear, they found nothing when I had my lumpectomy. I had that on March 7th, 2019, after finishing chemotherapy, and they couldn't find anything. Even when they're trying to, they have to put a needle in to locate it, they couldn't find it. But I still had to do, I know, it was so exciting. And then they were like, well, it's precautionary. Let's give you a little radiation. And I would share that I was signed up for 30, 5 of them being a booster, which is directed to the breast. The other one is a little bigger to also cover the lymph nodes. And after 9 rounds, I decided to say that was enough for me. Not exactly what some of the family thought was the right thing or the doctors, but I started having side effects that I did not want. Shoulder hurting, lump in my throat. I was getting raspy when I had to speak, and I felt it in my breath. So long story short, I listened to my body, and it told me no. I took one day at a time and listened every day and said, we can do one more. And then I said, it's enough. And today I feel great. I live a life inspired by what I would love. And I'm very happy. I feel healthy. I still exercise, especially to increase the circulation in both breasts, for that matter, in my lymphatic system, to make sure that nothing gets blocked there anymore.
Yeah. Wow. The best news, the absolute best news is that they can't find anything. And it's so, I don't know what it would feel like just to be screaming at the top of my lungs, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, and be done with that journey, that part of it. And now this next beautiful part of your journey, because you are back in the United States and a dual citizenship, right? You have dual citizenship now.
I just received my citizenship. Yeah. So I have dual citizenship. Yeah. Very grateful.
Yes. And we're very grateful to have you over here in the United States too, because you are such a blessing. And so what can you share with the listeners is your, who are you now? What was the biggest lesson that you learned on this journey, Pernille?
Well, the biggest lesson I learned was to be me, to find out who I am and what I can do. And we can do so much more than we think we can.
Yes.
And if we choose the right mindset, it's amazing what we can attract to. I was reconnected with my family. I lived in the States for 22 years, but to go home for 9 months, it turned out, not 3 months, but 9 months, and to reconnect with my family, with my cousins, with my friends from business school, hang out with them when I was feeling okay or good, I would go there. I built community at the hospital with other breast cancer women. We would go for walks and coffee and just support one another. It was so life-giving. And getting back to biking, I loved. Getting back, I used to do that as a child. So that was a gift. And now I have built a bike of my dreams over here so I can continue the ride.
I love it. Yeah. And a metaphor in such a beautiful way so you can continue the ride. So it's almost like that riding off into the sunset, right? Like what I have learned about myself and discovered about myself. And now I'm back. I've discovered this about riding bicycles and how much I love riding bicycles and the freedom that comes from those. And and you're back on the ride. And it just sounds like you are so back on in your life. And Pernille, you coach people, men and women, and you coach them. And this is one of your businesses. Everything you do is in the healing arts field, and coaching is one of those healing arts. So for people who are listening to this, who are either going through a physical struggle themselves, whether it happens to be breast cancer or some other kind of physical ailment, because you also incorporate emotional freedom technique, which is tapping and being a Reiki master. And I believe you can do Reiki long distance even, can't you? Isn't that a long distanceable thing?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Okay. So for the listeners, if they themselves are going through something, or they have a family member or a friend, and not only do you you talk the talk, but you walk the walk, right? I mean, you've been there. So what is the best way? Yes, because that's the best. We learn the best from the fire that we have been through. And what is the easiest way for listeners to get in touch with you if they would love to work with you and engage with your services?
Well, they're welcome to either check out my website, which is PernilleHalbro.com, or they can also email me directly at info@PernilleHalbro.com. And my name is spelled PernilleHalbro.
Perfect. And of course, that information will be on the website. So please don't worry if you're driving or in an area where you cannot write that information down. All of Pernille's information will be available in the show notes and on the website. So you will be able to get in touch with her. I have so many other questions that I have to ask you. And of course, we have run out of time. So I have a feeling somewhere down the road in the not too far away future, if you are willing, we will do this again, because I would love to have you on here again, Pernille, and just to find out more, because I adore you. I love you. I love your warriorness. I love your story. And I'm just so grateful for you being here with me today.
Oh, it's been so much fun. I so love working with you too, Nada. And I'll be happy to come back anytime you want me to.
Awesome. All right. Well, now it's recorded and everybody knows, so you can't back out ever. Oh.
Thank you again for everything. It's been wonderful to be here. You're always so loving and kind to everyone.
Oh,
thank you.
Well, thank you. Absolutely. I am grateful. Thank you. And to all of the listeners, I know that you took away grand wisdom from Pernille and her story and her journey back to really great health and living vitally and alive and engaging with life in a beautiful way. And I wish the same for you. And until next week, go out and enjoy and live your most epic life. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Please go to nadahogan.com for show notes and other information you can use right away. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe to our show and don't forget to rate and review right there on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your shows. And don't forget to tell your friends about it. We'll see you next week.